You know, it doesn't really matter what the intro to this video is. Who's gonna watch this anyway? Are you gonna watch this? Why? Why? Before I open this, here's kind of what I'm expecting. This is the Play Arts Hardy Daytona, and I'm expecting it to be more or less the same as this, just smaller, and maybe the metallic details will be shinier. So let's see if I'm right. I shouldn't be surprised, but it is smaller than I expected. And the reason why I say I shouldn't be surprised is considering how much smaller this cloud is compared to the Play Arts cloud, which is the one that belongs to the other bike I just showed you. So let's get this thing out. I do like that we get the hands for the motorcycle, regardless of if you're buying it with cloud or not. That's some points to Square Enix. Thanks for thinking of that. If you wanted more points, they would have given us the hard edge with the Hardy Daytona, because I kind of feel like they belong together, at least in the original game. It is a lot lighter than I expected, but it's not like super light. First impressions, no surprise. I love it. I find it so interesting. I'm sure a lot of you know this, but the name Hardy Daytona seems to be inspired by Harley Davidson. But if you actually look at the meaning of both Hardy and Daytona, you know, Hardy means robust, and the name Daytona comes from Daytona Beach in Florida, which is actually synonymous with speed racing. So not only does it sound like Harley Davidson, Hardy Daytona literally means robust speed racing. I really want to know who came up with that, because that's genius. Originally, before I looked into the name, I actually just thought that Hardy Daytona was a name that was designed to just sound like a kind of vehicle brand. So you have Honda and Toyota, and you're like, oh, this is a Han Yoda. That's kind of how I thought the name was put together. But the design is actually inspired by a Yamaha VMAX. I don't know what VMAX means or stands for, but I've seen that on some Pokemon cards. But if we take a look at some pictures of the Yamaha VMAX, not only do we have the engine, just this circle with two things going up like this, with two other things on it. We have the two circles here. There's these vent things here. There's another vent thing back here. It's not common to have two exhaust pipes at the back, but I did find one image that has it. I think the main differences from the Hardy Daytona to a real-life Yamaha VMAX is that the exhaust doesn't go that far back. They sort of stop around here, and there's no guard in the front. There's no random exhaust right here that points forward. But I did actually get really excited the first time I looked up what a Yamaha VMAX actually looked like, because I'm like, oh my god, the Hardy Daytona is real. All you gotta do is attach some weird things to it, extend the exhaust, and put a guard on it, and boom, you have a Hardy Daytona in real life. I'm not going to bother posing Cloud on the motorcycle, because these bringers are not fun to pose, and I'm happy with the neutral pose that I have him in right now. But we can at least compare him size-wise, and I feel like that's a pretty good match. Let's compare the new one to the old. It just looks like I've copied and pasted a bigger image of the small one in the back here. The Play Arts one is definitely more detailed. We can just look at this random bandage on the exhaust pipes. Has a lot more detail and a better paint job. There's actually some design missing right here. Or I say it's missing. This, for all I know, is just made up for this figure. I don't know if this is visible in any of the concept art. This can just be some artistic liberty on whoever designed this. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that whoever designed these might be looking at different references. It's not fair to judge this if the intention was never to copy this, if that makes sense. This is more detailed all over, and oh, this is interesting. See this panel right here? It's missing on this one, and there's a detail behind it, and you can actually see right through the motorcycle, so it's missing on both sides. That's really interesting. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that the big one is more detailed, it's heavier, it might even be slightly better put together as well, like the wheels spin pretty well, and the wheels don't spin too well on this one, like they get stuck. But I'm not buying these to drive around. They could have sent me one where the wheels are completely stuck, and I wouldn't have cared at all. But that's just me, obviously, so And I think one last thing that we can do before I place it in my collection is to compare it to the remake PlayArts Kai Hardy Daytona as well, because the design is clearly very different, but it's still inspired by the Yamaha VMAX, so it would be fun to compare. And I also want to know what the hell happened to this panel on the remake bike, especially since that's the only real difference between these two. So let's compare. And here we have the ultimate size comparison when it comes to the Hardy Daytonas. Here's the smallest one. It comes with the Trading Arts Kai Mini of the original Cloud. And then we have the Ban Presto keychain from 1997. And this isn't a Hardy Daytona, obviously. This is a Fenrir from Advent Children, but I did like the size of it, so I had to pull it out from deep inside my closet to show it off here. And this is a Mechanical Arts from, I believe, like around
2007.
And this is the Bring Arts Hardy Daytona from today, obviously. The Play Arts Hardy Daytona, and here we have the huge, gigantic Play Arts Kai Hardy Daytona. And as we can see, the panel is here. So this is the outlier.
He's what you call a black sheep.
Which is weird. Why wouldn't the more detailed one have the detail? And it is interesting to compare this to not only the other Hardy Daytonas, but also to the Yamaha VMAX images that we have. But it's interesting to look at these things. I don't know what they are, like vent things. They're still here, but they're on these huge things that stick out, which I think is actually... I think that's kind of ridiculous. I don't like this part. I don't really like this version of the Hardy Daytona anyway, because of how big and chunky it is. Like, it looks like a huge tank of some kind. Like, imagine if you're in your driveway and you need to turn this thing around. It's gonna be a nightmare, you know? I feel like you get the idea. They are the same design. It's just they've chunkified it. But one interesting thing about this bike that is missing from all the others is the fact that it has, and I don't even know if this is part of the game, but there is like a panel up here that you can move up and down. I'm not even sure most people know about that. I found that by accident when I was cleaning dust once. And I also noticed off camera that there's a huge difference on this side, because look here.
Look here! Look, listen!
But on the Play Arts, it's completely different. And I wonder where this is from, because the way that we see the Hardy Daytona on the renderings and drawings and stuff, it's only on the other side. So this, for all we know, is just completely made up by whoever designed this specific model of it. But anyway, I feel like I can talk about these forever and ever, so let's stop. And I'm now gonna properly place them in the collection. So let's do that, I guess. Oh shit! Oh. Sometimes the transitions are not worth it. We're just gonna cut to it. And here we are. I'm gonna pretend to place it again. That is my Hardy Daytona number 3. You can technically argue it's number 5, but the other two has Cloud attached to it. Same with the Chocobos. Technically, I have 7 Chocobos, but 2 of them has Cloud on it, so I'm only counting 5 Chocobo figures, and those 2 as Cloud figures. So there you go. Who cares? With the limited space that I have for displaying these 3, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. It's obviously not perfect, but I do like that we understand that it's 3 of the same thing in 3 very different sizes, and one of them in very different style. And if you're wondering what the hell that yellow thing is, it's a Coca-Cola Final Fantasy Chocobo t-shirt.